I'm fiddling with my zip. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Juma this morning. I'm trying to close my jacket, and it's taking me 10 minutes just to do a simple zip, but that's because it just keeps opening up after I zip it open. My name is Mark. Tyra's on camera with me this morning. Seb is in final control, and we're about to head out on our morning safari. I hope you're going to join us. I hope you're going to have some fun with us. A little bit overcast. Cool temperatures though, and hopefully it's going to stay fairly cool for the morning. Let's go and see what we can find for you after I do up my jacket. It's finicky. I've got to put the camera again. Okay. I just wanted to keep the cold wind out. Beautiful morning. Not a breath of wind.
Sounded like Ron Mooney
Who?
then. Ron Mooney.
Ron Mooney.
Yeah, from Oliver. Beautiful.
Yeah, went over my head. I don't know who you're talking about.
You never see Oliver? Fagin.
Oh, Fagin.
Yeah, he played Fagin.
I thought that was...
You're thinking of Oliver Reed. Who played this.
No, I'm not thinking of Oliver Reed. I'm thinking of... I'll tell you in a minute. Finnegan. What was his name? Fake.
With his whiskers on his chinnigan.
And the wind came up and blew them in again.
Something called Finnegan.
Michael Finnegan.
That's
He grew whiskers on his chinnigan. I got whiskers on my chinnigan. Interesting. Tracks from a buffalo. What are we going to do this morning?
I don't know, I'll do what you want to do.
I don't know, anything what we usually do. Plan to take
Buffaloes to the side of the jungle.
plan to take over the world.
I could do that.
Okay, I have to say that the 5th of November passed without us finding an impala lamb.
So it's
No. My date was the 5th of November, but you know what? Texan saw the first impala lamb yesterday.
Oh.
So I was kind of right. Myself and a few others. 2 patties. Yes. I was kind of right. I mean, I'm not saying that I no, Seb. Your impala was at like Crocodile Bridge, Malaline. It's like 200 kilometers away. My impala lamb was... mine was here at Juma. Texan saw it. I like that raptor. Just flew away from us. I think that's the same raptor that you and Seb saw last night late.
Oh, actually, you guys have got to add your birds because I saw Brian came through
Yes.
with Wahlbergs last night.
Brian did come through, but I don't know if we can accept it. Wahlbergs and Brian's. But also, speaking of Brian, hello Brian, hope you're with us this time of day on a Sunday morning. That kingfisher yesterday, Brian and I were discussing it.
Well, I looked with the binoculars and I was looking for other signs of it being...
And it looked very much like a woodlands.
No, because I was looking. I was looking with the binoculars. Because the Woodlands has a red and black, and the bill was definitely all red.
And that's not a Wahlberg's eagle. Oh, it is actually. I don't know if we're gonna. It's moving. Just the what?
It's just me that failed. So I've got the first Impala probably in South Africa. I've got the first Impala in Juba. I just didn't get anything.
But it still doesn't count because it's got to be the first Impala on camera. I actually managed to bring the list. I mean, I meant to bring the list. I didn't manage to do it. I meant to manage to do it. Morning, children. Where are the babies? Of course, we're not going to see the babies in the herd right now. They're going to be with their moms. What?
There's a couple that looking like...
They're just ready to burst. I'm looking for that one female with the bulge.
I did see her the other day.
One. Thank you, radio. Two. Thank you, radio. Prefer radio with a lady's voice. I'm tired of his voice. 1, 2, 3. There's that old female with what looks like mud on her side, but I think she's just losing her hair. There she is, I think. Yeah. Well, no, it's just another female that's very big. It's not the one with the bulge. That bird of prey that we had, that raptor, like that was a Wahlberg's eagle. She must also be quite an old lady, that one over there, the one on the right, that one we're looking at. Old for Impala, probably getting up to around 8-10 years old, I'd think. But I'm guessing, where did you see that eagle last night?
What, sorry?
That eagle that we had in dusk.
Down towards Philemon's Dip.
No, it's the same eagle then, I'm sure. Why it's not in a nest? Ah, maybe because mom's sitting. Or wife is sitting. Maybe because its partner is sitting on the nest. And it's banished to outer lying marula trees for the time being. It sounds like there might have been a leopard on the damn wall last night, or around, or thereabouts. It was just after drive. Evidently there were a bunch of vehicles around the dam, and spotlights and camera flashes and things. Quite a handsome fella you, aren't you? Where's that squirrel calling from? I can hear a squirrel. That's probably shining at that eagle.
Mind your hand.
Hello, Carolyn. What did I have for breakfast? Because I'm on rare form this morning. I haven't, actually.
Mind your hand.
Mind my head always gets in the way. Head and hat. Go back. I nearly went back and then I went forward. They're all looking towards the road going down to Philemon's Dip. It might have something to do with the squirrel that was shot. And the fact that there was an eagle. Warthog, maybe? Hello, Warthog. Only two of you now. Not sure if it's the same group. I haven't had breakfast yet, Carol, and haven't even had my green tea this morning. Maybe it's a strange mood induced by sleep deprivation.
Could well be. Why is that actually?
What's that?
I get a bit loopy when I haven't had sleep deprivation.
Because that's probably what it. Because when.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Because your brain goes into this loop and it. You do get loopy. They warthog, children. They warthog. You know those things with the... Yeah, never mind. Figure it out. All the impalas staring towards the water. I think they're looking at the water. Okay, what are we going to have on the agenda this morning?
Well, I'd like to see a pangolin.
Okay, Tara's...
Aardvark.
No, you can't have both, Tara. That's pushing it. A pangolin or an aardvark, and I've got greater chance of finding you a pangolin.
What about a pangolin and an aardvark sharing the same feeding hole?
You mean they're sword fighting with their tongues or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just ask for the impossible. Of course, yes. Yesterday was Guy Fawkes Day,
Yeah, I totally forgot about it.
and I have to admit it was a pleasure. Excuse me, it was a pleasure not hearing a single firecracker, or gunshot, or bang, or noise. Well, sort of noise.
The only reason why it we got reminded was because the call going to my dad. He suddenly said, "Oh, it's Guy Fawkes night," because he heard the firework out the back.
Oh.
I totally forgot.
I suppose it is a lot bigger in England than it is anywhere else.
Yeah.
But us being an ex-English colony and all, it was passed on to us. But they've been trying to crack down on the whole firecracker thing for years now, and I think in some places, in some of the suburban areas, they were actually fining people now. I think it's sad what happens to all the animals on nights like that, like these. Hello, Donna, in Nebraska. Funny, a lot of the states in the States, when I think of a state, something comes to mind, but nothing. Donna, you're going to have to teach me something about Nebraska, because I kind of draw a blank when it comes to Nebraska. What's Nebraska famous for? But Donna wants to know what the warthog's whiskers, what the purpose of the warthog's whiskers are. Those sort of, the beard. Good question. I mean, I suppose in some ways it's supposed to give them a fiercer look or a larger look. Apart from the fact that whiskers, as with everything else, any facial hair, is a sensory aid. It helps to feel things close to the face. That's not entirely it, though. Oh, hello. Saved by the orange and black bird. Here we go, for my list. Quite a special little bird. supposedly quite bad smelling, but then again I've never gotten close enough to one to be able to smell it. Do you know that if you put salt on a bird's tail you can catch it?
You'd have to catch the bird to put the salt on the tail first.
Okay, don't say that too loud. Wonderful way to occupy a child's time. A few hours at least. Give him a salt cellar and say, go. If you can put salt on a bird's tail, you can catch it. So who have we got here? Now it could be African or it could be European. Well, I don't think we get European this far south. Lag is about 2 seconds, which is no lag really, because that's just how long it takes to send a signal. Which means that's good. It means that we got a strong signal this morning. What's been at this? Wow, that was quick. Thank you, Lynn in Canada. First one back. African Hoopoe. And Jennifer. And King Alan. And a number of other people. Crested barbet. Maybe crested barbet in disguise, but it's Sunday, so the disguise shop is closed today. Hello, Ivy. Now, where we were watching the warthog, branches in a road, there's actually only the one road that's closed. We've had this question. It's an interesting question, appropriate question. Ivy was wondering why the road is closed off with branches like that. Well, now I wonder who drove in there. Who was the wonderfully bright individual that had to do that? Oh, that must have been with the... There was a leopard here last night. Somebody driving in the mud on the spillway. Let me just get on the radio quickly. My unit trips. Morning stations. Anyone out on Western Gowrie? So Ivy, that was a road, that is closed with branches, that is Philemon's cut line. It's the road that goes down into the dip. And somewhere along the line, back in history, the pipeline that runs from the pump, often we hear the pump, in fact it's running now, it's one of the reasons why I didn't go down to Philemon's dip. But the pump house is down there, it's in the dip, and that's obviously where the water table is accessible for the borehole. And the pipeline that runs from that water pump to the lodge runs right along the middle of that road, and over time the pipe has worked its way to the surface of the ground, and so the road has been closed off to protect the pipeline. Now the branches are not only there to close the road, but they're also there to rehabilitate it. And it needs a lot more than that when you're rehabilitating an eroded area, because essentially a road is an eroded patch of ground. One needs to pack it a lot more tightly, a lot tighter than that, denser. But over time it'll eventually grow back, and the branches essentially catch seed and slow the flow of water down to limit the amount of erosion that occurs. I think we'll see what's up on Whittles at Cutline. Gowrie Cutline might have a few signal breakups. I saw that video too. There's a hummerkop flying back to the dam. Whoever's Zoomy, you're about to receive your daily dose of hummerkop. Hi Jennifer. I guess that video is doing its rounds. There's a video, actually it's a very nice little segment made by two young ladies in a kayak or something. And I'm not too sure where... No. Squirrel calling down in Yambili Adan's living room. Not too sure where that was, and I know those are European starlings, but they do swarm like that in the States as well. But I did see that. In fact, it was reminiscent of those huge swarms of sardines or anchovies or pilchards or mackerel that swim in the ocean, and they all move in unison. And the interesting thing about that kind of behavior is that, well, it's been studied quite a lot, because the reaction time from the first individual at the beginning of the flock, or the shoal if it's in fish, to the last individual, the reaction time is so rapid. I mean, it's almost instantaneous. Why they do that? It's a defense mechanism. It's appearing as one larger organism as opposed to many smaller ones, for one thing. But it's quite striking how this huge flock almost move as one entity. Now that morning. Why don't you take? Okay, copy. Confirm you had Ingwe on the damn wall last night as well. mate, thanks. I'm on Gary Cutline heading up to Buffalo Cutline. I did, believe it or not, I did actually understand some of that. Oh, in Duna up near the gate, but he went over into Simbamili or Elephant Plains. He went to the west. Elephant Plains, I think it is. Yeah, Simbamili's a bit further. Karula evidently on the damn wall last night, but by the time Texan got there, she was gone. Morning, Marla. And now I'm faced with the usual dilemma. Left or right? Start by going this way. Every day we come up to Buffelshoek Cutline, or every day that I do come up to Buffelshoek Cutline, I hold my breath in the hope of finding tracks of giant cats. Not today, yet. At this stage of the game, actually, I'd rather find pachyderm tracks than big giant cat tracks. Actually, any tracks, for that matter. Ooh, okay, never mind. Other kinds of pachyderms. Thought I heard another squirrel. There's a squeak in the steering wheel, and every now and then I think it's a squirrel in the distance. I just have to do some. Just gonna quickly unplug sound. A second. Okay, sorry. What was Billy Bob? Billy Bob. Elephants! Yoo-hoo! Okay, I'm ready. I'll keep. Hello, Billy Bob. Interesting question. Again? Say it again, Hardy Doll. I dare you. Billy Bob asking if it's hard to adjust to city life when we go on leave. 2-week break. I don't know, Billy Bob. I'd have to go to the city to find out. I haven't been to a city since February. I'll go from the bush to the bush. And my box is still not flowering. Vubu Road. And there's been one little herd of elephants that's been moving around. We saw them yesterday after drive. After we'd shut down, I was taking Diane back to camp. And it was quite appropriate because we were talking about favourite animals, and her favourite animal was impala. I'm glad I managed to find her an impala, but because my animal is an elephant, it was nice to have actually found some elephant. And it seems that it must be one of the only small groups of ellies that are moving around at the moment. And I think that's the same herd maybe that Seb found the track of that baby. They were quite well spread out. They were in fairly thick bush off of Elephant Skull Road and in the drainage line. We didn't see the youngster. We saw some of the females. We sat with 2 young teenage boys for a little while. Excuse me. Be nice if we could find out where they went to. I think what we'll do is we're going to try and from here just wind our way due south and see if we find any tracks crossing our path. Hello, dear. Thanks for reminding me. I did notice that yesterday. Funnily enough, just after I saw the elephants, when we were coming up Elephant Skull Road, we went past that orchid on Elephant Skull Road, and that flower is open. Deer's asking if the orchid flower ever opened, and yes, it must have, and we've got to go and have a look at that. Unfortunately, grey skies, we're not going to get some sunshine on it. But we ought to be able to see both orchids, both subspecies. That looks interesting. One of them has flown away. Excuse me. One of them flew 2, 3. See, all I did was cough. I mean, it wasn't. Okay, what bird is that? Let's get the emails flowing. One was up towards Tambuti Dam. Another 4 here. I wonder if they're the original 5 we used to have. There, leopard. That's true. Okay. Ah, there. Gosh. Well done, Tara. You're not sleeping at the back. Nice one, Tara. That looks like one of the children. Na 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 na. We found the leopard. Meow. I hear you, Seb. Na 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 na. Sitting pretty like a queen, or prince, or princess. Who is it? Oh, look at that. That is just too beautiful. Hello, pretty child. I'm going to ask viewers to identify this leopard now. I did ask for ID on them. Thank you, Amber. Amber was first one back. Amber's proving to be quite the birder. And Dr. Rita and Joanne. Thank you for the hardy-da, Ibis. Ha ha, hardy-da. If anyone's interested, I've got an ingwe on Boo Boo Road. If anyone's interested.
didn't copy him. Maybe let me try to call him.
Ingwe.
What?
Go Orbs.
Morning, confirm you got something at Bobo Road.
Affirmative, got an Ingwe.
Okay, thanks very much. Yeah, David, can I join?
Yeah, boy, I'm for.
Very much in Congo. Mark.
Go ahead, John.
Morning, Mark. Which Ingwe is that?
One of Karula's one pimpon.
Okay, copy. Yeah, I'm here about just east of the Mulewan, west of the Mulewan. Slightly got my forward there.
Okay, copy. Slowly. I don't think so. Okay. Hello, Carolyn. Carolyn's asking us to show her the size of a leopard print with my hand and then for you to zoom in on the paw.
Zoom in on the paw and then show the hand.
Yeah, let's do it the other way around, just for Dafka. You can zoom in on the paw and then I'll show you with my hand. Go ahead, Tex. Stand by. Have we got any IDs on the lip on this young cat yet? Laura in Finland was the first one back with Shavinzi. And Lynn and Patty Roberts and a number of others. Well done, everybody. Tex Shavinzi. What can you see? Sitting on a little termite mound.
She's sitting pretty.
She is sitting pretty. She's like her mother.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's terrorized the colony of dwarf mongoose in those holes.
Yeah.
She's sitting on top there too. But as it pops its head, she... What's that game? Where those things pop up and they hit...
Yeah, they didn't know which side, but I think must be close to the dam. Because now I'm pushing Taboti on the fabric. Must be still further down.
Now the lock's closer to the dam. I'm opposite the lodge.
Okay, copy. Just confirm for me, sorry Mark, is it a good visual there or is it a score of visual?
At this stage, she's on a little shadulu, so it's quite a good visual.
Okay, copy.
Okay, so the paw of a leopard. Well, she's a youngster. So, looking at her paws, those are her front paws. They will perhaps be a little bit larger than her hind leg or hind foot. Hands a bit more rounder. And I say her paw would be about this big. Let me get my tape measure out. I'll show you. Try and do some. Let me think. Whose was it? It was 11 centimeters. The track of one of the males that we have. 14 for, I think it was your Dawn. I'd say her track's probably only about 7 centimeters, 2.5 inches. That's just the pad, the track. Wait, let's go to the inch side. 2.5 inches. That's just, oh, she's off. Be nice if we could find a track. Ingrid's getting mobile now. She's actually looks like she's stalking something. A couple of people saying what? Oh, whack-a-mole, yes. That game I was thinking of.
What's it called again?
Whack-a-mole.
Oh, whack-a-mole.
Guacamole. Guacamole. Hello, Holly in Texas. Wanting to know why they sit on termite mounds. Are there termites in them? Sometimes I guess there would be termites in them. They sit on them because it's bare soil and it's comfortable and no sticks and bits of grass digging in them. We're just going to have to wait here for a minute and see where she goes, because I've either got to squeeze past a nasty buffalo thorn or I could squeeze past a fallen dead knob thorn. Hello, baby girl. I can hear Impala behind us. Hmm?
There is the alarm about 3 or 4 times now.
That's where, sort of dam side
Yeah.
or down central. If anyone's approaching this Ingwelock from the south, if you could just have a look, because there's marla colouring a little bit further south from me on the other side of the Shkobanin.
Okay, copy. I'm gonna be heading on Central, so I'll check it out.
Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Wonder what she's been watching. Boy, those hardy-daws are really upset. It sounded like they just landed and were just calming down, and they've just been chased again by something, or not necessarily chased, but disturbed. Okay, I'm going to try and squeeze past this. Sure, I don't know where we're going to go. Have to try and squeeze past this buffalo thorn. Yeah, full in oils. We're actually making, she's starting to move towards that small and Ndlele that goes down to the rooms.
Okay.
antelope's coming straight towards you now.
Okay,
No, now she's turned again. Have you got a visual?
yeah, positive.
Okay. Morning, Richard. Interesting question. Richard's saying when cats, talking about domestic cats, when cats put their ears back, it means that they're angry, and Richard wants to know if it's the same for leopards. Very much so, Richard. It's almost like a universal language with cats, the position of the ears. And normally when you're looking at cats, any position from sort of normal going backwards are strong emotions, as opposed to all the ear movements of a cat that maybe point forward, and forward facing ears are all more positive emotions, surprise, interest, and that sort of thing. And she's just about to come through this little gap now. Morning, everyone. You gotta, okay, so maybe just Tara's just a little bit further back. Just about to come through that gap there. Actually nicely framed. Oh, cuckoos are going crazy. What happens if what do you call a cuckoo that goes crazy? A cuckoo. Just have a branch in the way of the camera. But I think there's something in the grass she's been listening to. Branch in the way. Sure, let me just go and move that branch out of the way for you. Ellen in Illinois. Hi Ellen. See your emails come through. Wanting to know if we ever see leopards that we can't identify, and whether they are all, maybe the leopards that we see are all descendants of Karula. Not all of them. And most of the leopards we see we know. Every now and then we get a cat that comes through that we don't know who it is. We get a quick glimpse. As long as we can get a good look at a cat, we ought to be able to identify it, even if it comes from another area, on account of so many people watching these cats. And see if we can just move to get that branch out of the way of the picture. That's about as far forward as I can go, brushing up against the tree. Go ahead. Well, if you come north of the dam on Mvubu Road, there's a small track that goes down to the lodge, down towards the rooms, where you're just off of that track. Yes. Go that way. Nice cat.
Yeah, one more person, one more brother. Just had it, the gun, but I can't get it.
Now, are we going to be able to see her still? That is the question. She has moved. Oh, there she goes. She's walking back the other way again. Oh, we need to get around.
No, she's
Going down towards the big Jackalberry. Morning, Teddy in California. Not going to work too well. She's here. Aubrey, come in. Yeah, I've still got a visual of her this side.
Okay, copy. Yeah. I'm gonna drive on the drainage line. I'm going to join Jack for the night.
Well, what's Jock got? Jock, come in.
Yeah, Mark, standing by. I got the young Medora here. Just east of the dam.
Okay, copy. Thanks. So, Shivambalana, further back, probably where we heard those Impala shouting. Teddy in California, wanting to know a couple of measurements. Well, I've got my tape measure. I just got to try and catch her by the tail. I know, Seb, maybe you can just repeat what Teddy was asking, apart from the length, wanting to know the length of her. What are we going to do? Oh, yeah. Okay. Teddy asking if an animal's fetus moves around and much the same. Oh, what's that in the tree? Oh, it's the hardy dog. Wanting to know if an animal's fetus moves around like a human fetus does. Can you see her from here?
Not really, no. Just...
Problem is trying to get through here to keep up with her. Teddy, yes. All mammal fetuses move in the womb. We don't have exclusivity on that. I might try and squeeze through there, but I'm not going to be able to. Okay, so if we try and get down there to the other side of the jackalberry, we might pick her up again. Someone said they saw an impala, something moving in an impala's tummy the other day, and we've been stopping and watching and trying to see if we can see that again. I don't know, am I going to squeeze through here? I don't know. Someone touched that knob thorn on the left. There we go. Plastic mud guards loose on my wheel, making a noise. Oh, there's another cat on top of that termite mound with a big jackalberry. Maybe that's Mom.
Unless it's her that she's made away there.
Maybe.
Because I'm sure I didn't
But
see
that-
anything
That's a big cat. Okay, let's try and get there. Or at least get to see this a bit more. Meow. Okay, under the circumstances, ears are flat, not necessarily as an emotion or anything, just to try and keep a low profile. Looks like she's trying to sneak away from something that she doesn't want. She doesn't want to be seen by something. Maybe it's the birds. Okay, so Teddy was asking that. Then also Teddy was saying that 2.5 inches seems small for her pad compared to the size of that her paws appear to be. But yeah, remember her pad itself is a lot smaller than the paw. You know, this is really very thick stuff, and unless I can find an easy way in there, I might just leave her be. We can maybe go and find Shivambalana. Jacques has just picked up Shivambalana. Now, I had those birds last night? Yeah. Yesterday morning. They're gone again. And Lynn did send an answer, so they are on my list. Great spotted cuckoo. There she is. She's actually watching the cuckoos. Heading deeper in to the drainage line. She's actually there. She carries on. She's going to make her way back towards FC. Yeah, I think that's about as far as we're going to be able to go. Maybe here. Maybe we can get in here a little bit. Hello, Debbie. Do I think the Cubs? It's kind of an impossible question to answer, Debbie. But I suppose you're asking what do I think. What I think is different to what actually happens. Regarding their sleeping habits, and do I think they spend the nights on their own, or do they still sleep together? Sure. I don't know. I'd say it could be a bit of both. I think it depends on temperature. If it's cool, they might they might curl up together. I really don't know. Yeah.
Oh, she's still there. Just about to see the issue. My scene's in.
Still wandering around in there, but it's so thick that I'm inclined to just leave her be for now. And we continue with something else. Gee, Oklahoma's just had a 5 point something earthquake. .2 earthquake in Oklahoma. And that's on that termite mound that I saw the other day. I was thinking if there was a cat on it. No, there is a cat on it. Evidently no damage as yet, or reports of injuries. It is a nice termite mound, but it's almost impossible to get to. This is going to be a bit of a problem. Well, I hope everything's okay in Oklahoma. Are you too high to see through that quarry? Awkward. we're in here. I don't know how we're going to get out. But that is a beautiful shot, though. Well worth the effort. Let me go back an inch. Termite mounds, I got a question earlier why they tend to like the termite mounds. Apart from the soft sand or the open sand, the smooth sand that you get, it was also a vantage point. I think that's perhaps something that I omitted. In that the vantage point that a termite mound offers is unparalleled. And it's, I suppose maybe other than climbing a tree and lying in a tree, but that requires balance and it's not as comfortable. You've got to lie over a limb. On a termite mound you can flow, and only a cat can do. When a cat lies down, its body flows over whatever it is it's lying on. Pardon? Back pads. You just see under her back foot. As far as her length is concerned, head to tail, it's kind of hard to guess, but I'd say probably close on 5 feet from tip of her nose to the tip of her tail. That's a pretty thing. Look at that. Hello, Oriole. Hello, Vivian. Some interesting flowers at the back there. Vivian is asking, actually I'm not too sure what it is, but or how to paraphrase. What would happen if one of the leopards were to come and lie down at my feet, sitting around the fire? Actually, read that again to me, Seb. Try and formulate a an idea here. Okay. So my thoughts and actions, should one of them come to camp and lie down at the fire next to me. And Vivian's saying it seems that there ought to be some sort of communication between leopard and man since they've become so habituated. Well, there is. Whether they're receptive to it or not, and whether we as humans are receptive to it or not, there is a communication. There is, let's put it this way, there is common ground in order to be able to communicate across the species barrier. And a lot of that has got to do with energy and energy, intent, and basically opening your mind to something that doesn't that something that exists but can't be seen or felt, and so is open to skepticism. But there is a communication that does occur, and as I say, it's whether the cat is open to it and the human is open to it. But if she were to, or if a leopard were to come to the fire and lie down at the fire, what my thoughts and reactions would be, that is quite a concept to consider. Having had it with hyena and elephant and various other animals, I'm not too sure what my reaction would be if a leopard were to walk in and lie down close to me. I mean, I would hope that I have I'd hope that I'd be able to sit very still and enjoy the experience. Don't go, girl. Don't go down there.
I'm hearing voices down there. I don't know.
Down there?
Somewhere back there, if it's possible, which is
Oh, well, it could be lodge staff. Something I've got to think about, Vivian. You know, for anybody who is interested in interspecies communication, animal communication, whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the fact is, it's a very, very real concept. I can point you in the direction of a website, www.animalspirit.org. That's a friend of mine, Anna, who does animal communication. She actually holds workshops and she teaches people how to be able to open yourselves to it. And some people are able to pick up on the projections of animals a lot easier than others. It's not that animals have a vocabulary and they can speak to us in words, and that it's not about reading minds and about picking up sentences that animals are saying. It's about picking up on their energy and picking up on a complete thought concept rather than a sentence or a word. An essence, an emotion, which word? Which word, Seb? I don't know, I've forgotten now. Oh, the website. Animal Spirit, one word, .org, O-R-G. I know that we do have a couple of viewers as well who are animal communicators in the States. That website is Anna's website, and there's another friend of mine, Winter, who does workshops, sometimes with Anna, sometimes on their own. Winter Warthorn. Can't remember Winter's website. But when you hear some of the, I wouldn't say they're stories, but when you hear some of the anecdotes and some of the things that have happened to these women and some of their students, some of the people that they've taught, you can't put it down to coincidence or chance. These are real things that are possible. We all heard of horse whisperer, and essentially it's very much the same thing. It's tapping into a common energy field that allows us to feel and experience what it is that an animal is trying to get through to us. And believe it or not, it has its roots in quantum physics. Anyways, can we quickly just have a look at those flowers?
Yeah, I was trying to see which ones you were
There,
looking at.
the creeper up there.
Oh, because that's what you said behind them.
Well,
I
yeah.
was looking right
Oh,
back there.
sorry. Yeah, well, it's kind of behind her, to the right. Behind and to the right. This is a creeper that has pretty much taken over a guarri bush. And it's something that everybody knows, although the commercial variety is different. This is a caper bush. It's actually known as the woolly caper bush. Caparissa. If I'm not mistaken.
Good morning, Sydney. I copy you. Morning to the...
Okay. TD, turbo diesel. TD, the name I've got on an email, wanting to know if we ever saw the owl come back, the one that flew. I'm guessing, TD, you're speaking of the young giant eagle owl that used to be at the dam. I haven't seen it for some time now, but then also I don't manage to watch. I don't have the waterhole, the Juma waterhole cam. I don't have that on, and we don't see the camera. We don't see the dam from our camp. So actually, I haven't seen it for some time now. So it's possible that it has been back, but not to my knowledge. TD wanting an answer before he or she goes to bed. And unfortunately, I can't give you an answer. I don't know what's happened to that young owl. Oh, hello, green spider. Fly away.
Oh, guys, mobile.
Yeah, no, just hang on, sir.
I'll set you back on the mobile. Still on cheetah plane. I'm landing in Caminhac, so Malaman. Andrew, come in. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm in Voyas. I'm here with one more ping pong for Gorilla. Okay, copy, thanks, man. I'm gonna shoot to that thing, Galavet. I think you got them there.
Okay, go, Seb.
Okay, copy.
She's just like another headache. There is definitely some she's watching, but I can't see what it is. I thought it was the babblers, but they've moved around. She's still looking in that same spot.
Joanne and Jennifer asking about the bird that was calling in the background. I think it was... I'm getting confused. The problem with getting an email a little bit after the bird calls is I'm not too sure which one we're referring to, because there was also the red-chested cuckoo calling a minute ago. But when we first stopped here with Shavinzi, there were two actually, black-headed orioles. And Jennifer and Joanne, I think, were asking. So it could have been the black-headed oriole. That sort of call.
There was a black bat, puffback calling right above us as well.
There were, I didn't register that. Tara saying there's a blackback puffback calling above us as well. And that didn't even register in my brain. Probably because I was thinking of the flowers and the capers that I can actually see on the tree. And I was thinking about the leopard. And I was thinking about other things. Selective hearing. Oh, thanks, TD. The owl that I was raising, gosh, November 2009. No, well, I don't know if it came back. It didn't come back to me. I know, that was all a very, very strange thing, the disappearance of that little owl. Came back from drive, gave it a few termites. Mike and Laura were here. We grabbed the camera. We rushed out to a termite mound to film the termites. I took a little Tupperware dish thing to catch some of the termites to bring it back for the owl. Came back, and the two doors, there were two doors that it managed to get through two doors and 4 closed windows.
I don't know if you've got this bird.
This bird. Where's that bird? The back there. I don't think I've got that bird. I don't think any of us got that bird yet. That's an interesting one. If anyone... Hello, Carolyn. An interesting question, actually. Wanting to know, well, the leopard's coat, leopards tend to blend in. I mean, everything about their coat helps them blend in, except for the tail, the tip of the tail being white. Why is that? Well, it tends to be the underneath of the tail, so that a lot of the time they can actually hide the white. But as with a number of animals that have white either under the tail or white on the tail, it becomes an important communicative device. Body language, communication between leopards. It helps youngsters follow their mother. It also helps to emphasize their mood and their intentions. And the one thing that leopards have to learn, that sadly isn't born instinct, and that is how to control the tail with a mind of its own. So often we watch leopard and they start stalking, and that tail gives them away. The tail curls up over their back and flashes that bit of white, and it gives away their position. But it does help them communicate with each other. Hello, Debbie. Debbie wants to know why we don't see the birds on the cats like we see them on buffaloes. Debbie saying would think that the cats also carry ticks. I think one of the main reasons, Debbie, is because cats eat birds. Predators don't really have a working relationship with the things that they eat. I think also because a slightly different anatomy allows the cats to clean themselves better than the herbivores. At least with paws and claws, and the kind of paws that a cat has, they're able to get to areas and scratch areas that are not as easily accessible with a hoof. And well, in the circumstances where cats are social, either as a family unit like Karula and the Cubs, or in a situation with Lion, allo grooming each other, kind of takes away the need for a bird to come and do it. But I think it's something over time. The birds have just learned you don't play with fire. Go and groom something that could turn around and bite your head off.
I wonder if anything's actually tried that.
Yeah. Can you imagine this slightly backward born oxpecker that wakes up one morning and sort of goes and lands on the leopard? I think I'll try a leopard today.
Maybe that's why they live in family groups.
Maybe.
So that they don't.
Well, maybe that's why there aren't any birds grooming leopards, because those ones that
Can try.
Mm.
Never succeed.
those Darwin Awards birds that have taken themselves out of the genetic equation by trying to groom a leopard. Sorry, who was that? Donna in Nebraska. Hi, Donna. Do leopards' noses also turn black as they get older like lions do? Yes, they do. I don't think it's... never really seen an age impression, or rather a scale, the way I have with lion, in terms of the different phases of a leopard's nose. I still got to try and find what I've done with that one with the lion. Starting with pink, and then getting spots on it, and then getting blotches, and then getting so So it goes pink and then spotted, blotched. No, what's the what? Spotted with black, blotched with black, and then mottled, marbled. No, not well, mottled, marbled, and then completely black. Lion by the age of 5, 6 years old has got a completely black nose. I'm not too sure the sequence with leopards, but yes, I would say so. Mostly.
Well, when I first arrived, Karula still had pink on her nose. Now she hasn't.
Okay,
I think
Tara
she
saying.
had that little pink strip.
Tara saying when she first arrived, Karula still had a little bit of pink on her nose, and now she hasn't. Karula is now 7.5 years old, so yeah, she would have. She'd be, well, she's in her prime. She's perfect adult age of a leopard. I suppose the equivalent to someone in their 30s. Although us humans, you only really start living at 40. Life only begins, as they say, at 40. And I'll see when I get to 40. Ha ha. I don't know if anybody managed to get an idea on that bird that Tara had that was behind her. It was an interesting one. No, it wasn't a chin spot batis. It was twice the size. White-throated robin? No. Fiscal flycatcher? No. That little russet on the rump, that was one of the giveaways. Similar to a pintail, I don't know, that's way off. Tropical boo-boo, close. Not quite. Fiscal shrike we don't get here. And nobody's got it. Okay. It was a hard one. It wasn't, we didn't see the whole bird too well.
Sure, that was an evil look.
Spell that name, please. Ah, Shanae. What did you say? Seb was talking in my ear.
Huh?
What did you say?
I know, she was giving you a very dirty look.
Giving you?
No, giving you.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it must have been you. She was giving you. Shanae. Hello, Shanae. And Scott. Is it? See, now I've forgotten the question. What is up with my mind today? Better help here, Seb. Seb? I'm sorry, I forgot. You have to repeat that for me, please. Oh, okay. Hi, Scott. Shanae and Scott in New Zealand. And please give my best to Diane. How long do leopards' nails grow? Claws? Good question. I'd say that when they're unsheathed and they're completely protracted, maybe an inch and a half. I've got a lion's claw, and obviously leopard's claw is not nearly as big as that. I'll have to bring you the lion's claw later to show you. And I'm thinking that maybe we ought to move on. Oh, it was. I thought it was a brew.
I thought to begin with that it was
Thanks very much, Jack. I'm pulling out.
maybe that's definitely because I saw that little black.
Okay, so Tara's just pointing out to me that what I thought that bird was, I was wrong. And whoever said white-throated robin chat was right. Was there a white-throated robin chat?
I'm leaving one station with Corona, young Madoda. Stays for 2 more. Pulling out.
Hang on, Seb. Oh. No, it wasn't a puffback, that's for sure. I thought it might have been a brew because I just saw the russet on the side of the rump, but I have to be honest, I didn't really see the bird. I was looking at it on my screen because I couldn't see it.
No, I just saw the black coming down and the white
It's the right habitat for that. And the white wing bar. What else you got, Seb? Oh, look, above Chavin is another bird. Your favorite. Okay, so what was Seb's? What were the other birds' answers for that one? Sleeping cat. I think we're going to leave her in La La Land. Morning, Alicia in Maine. Let's just zoom out so we can get an idea of this termite mound. Alicia's asking how long it take to make a termite mound this large. I would hazard a guess and say probably a couple of 100 years. This has been here for a very long time. It's huge. Easily 20 feet at the base. Okay, I think we're going to leave this little girl to sleep. Leave her in peace. She's got a really beautiful spot. And we'll go and see what else we can find for you this morning. Now I've got to try and get out of here. Bye bye, baby girl. Maybe, ooh, scarab flying around. Behind the buffalo thorn. Taking the pillow with him. Looks like wishful thinking. What now? What's coming again? The same. We have this cushion, it's like it comes off of an old couch or something. It just helps cushion our pelvises in the back seat there. And it just keeps getting hooked off by the buffalo thorn that we're going for.
Trying to keep an eye on everything. If I keep an eye on one thing,
We are in a bit of a tight spot. Oh, and there's a big tree stump there. So I don't think that's going to work going through here. So we're going to have to go back the way we came. Or maybe I can just drive over the tree stump. Old dead tree. Might be able to make myself go over it. Climb over it. Maybe we just go back down there. path of least resistance. Clouds getting a bit thicker and lower, and the temperature's dropping again. There's the old hyena then. Anybody picked up any sign of Ndlovu today? No response. I guess that means no. On the road, touch wood, no punctures. We've done, no, I better not say anything on that. No, don't dare jinx it. So that means that Karula's gone walkabout again. Karula's headed off and gone hunting again. I wonder if she says to the kids sometimes, okay, you guys stay here at the lodge, humans will look after you, I'm going hunting. And then she just goes off and she doesn't do any hunting, she just getting tired of being a mother. Nagging brats. Mommy, I want an impala. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, when are we gonna get there? Mommy, I'm tired. I want an impala.
That's why she can't stop on her.
Hello, Joanne in Michigan. Joanne is asking if I'm speaking about Anna Breitenbach. Yes, I am, my dear friend Anna. That is the person I'm talking about. Breitenbach is actually quite a famous family in this country. Poets and writers, the Breitenbach family. They also have notorious for other reasons too. There was a Breitenbach who was a military person. Of a famous unit. I suppose the equivalent of the SEALs or a Special Forces unit. Sorry, what were you saying? I had Seb in my other ear.
Oh, I was saying, Mommy.
Mommy, yeah.
And I was saying maybe that's why she palms the kids off on their knees sometimes.
Job come in? Aubrey come in? Aubrey come in? Where was that other Ingrid?
Yeah, close to Kyle.
Okay, copy, thanks.
Come on, come in.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm still here with him.
Okay, thanks. Next to room 1. Roger, what is the name of the bird that I called Tara's favorite? Oh, that one. Didn't we get an answer on that one? That was a white-bellied sunbird. Roger.
Do you have this one?
I do recall getting this, that one. That one's got a tail on it at least. But there's that one that Seb saw yesterday, that you saw yesterday. Definitely seen that individual with a bit of the tail missing. But there you can see, Seb was telling you about. Huh?
Cousins on the other side.
Cousins, yeah. The dwarf on the other side. But I think I've got slender mongoose. We need duct tape. We need duct tape. Duct tape. Or something. Hammer and a nail. Oh, look at you. Are you the male that chased the little boy into the dam the other day? I'm guessing you are. You're a very handsome fella. Who is that? What's that animal? Related to the lechwe. What was so unusual about that was that it was such a young male that he chased into the water. Impala ram too. Okay. Bye boys. Play nice. On the big one, yes, not the Impala. Joanne, Binky and Vivian were the first ones back with the waterbuck. Thank you very much. Right. Now, before we were rudely interrupted by Tara finding a leopard, I was going to make my way south through the center of the property. No, only kidding. We were wonderfully interrupted by Tara finding a leopard. That was a good spot, Tara. It was just that tiny little gap we had.
I wonder if we would have seen her if we had carried on. She was just parked behind the bush.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think there was just that one gap. Central Road. We are heading east, and I think we'll take the next road to the right. That is Vulture's Nest. Oh, look, there's a yellow morning glory. The morning glory family at any rate. Beautiful heart-shaped leaves for the romantic in you, or me. Quite characteristic of the Ipamoyas, the morning glories, are their heart-shaped leaves. Hello Becky in Texas. Interesting observation. Becky saying she notices the Egyptian geese as adults all of it got a dark dot on their chest, whereas the youngsters don't. Wanting to know if that's an indication of age. There's a blue flower, an interesting blue flower. I've been seeing a lot of it and I've been waiting to find one fairly close to the road to be able to show you. Well, you can cultivate these in a garden, make them quite close and dense, and they can be quite pretty. Here's a very pretty blue. Commelina, it's called. Commelina modesta. I want to see if I can find the yellow one, Commelina africana. Kind of like me, it's called the Wandering Jew. Although I haven't for the life of me figured out why it would be called a Wandering Jew. Getting time to replace the car battery by the sounds of things. So Becky in Texas, yes, I guess you could say it is an indication of age for an Egyptian goose. When they're adult they have it. And there are a few more Commelinas on that termite mound. Commelina, C-O-M-M-E-L-I-N-A. Oh, hello buffalo, nearly missed you. Hiding away. These are buffalo trying to keep a low profile. With an emphasis on the low. Sounds like a young oxpecker making a noise. Or something. Squeaking. Okay, well, so much for the low profile, huh? He got up because the oxpecker was complaining so much. If it wasn't for the oxpecker, he probably would have been quite happy to maintain the low profile. Lying down. The one at the back hasn't stood up yet though. Noisy birds. We do know this old boy. Relatively narrow set of horns. They have what on their horns? LI, annually. Alan, hello Alan, talking about the ridges on impala and waterbuck's horns. Are they the only ones that have that, and what is its purpose? Hello Alan. King Alan. Okay boys, I think we've disturbed you enough. So it's a fairly chilly wind that's blowing, and that's what a lot of the animals are doing, is they're lying down, trying to stay out of the wind. All members of the Cobb family have got those ridges. Impala. None of the spiral horn antelope have that. The gazelles have them. And I guess they're ridges that have developed through fighting, through the sparring that they do. I guess you've got to think of other reasons why those ridges would be there, why those annuli have formed on the horns of certain antelope. Interesting question, Alan. Annuli, I don't know how to pronounce it. Annuli. Sparring mostly, I suppose. Lynn in California. Question about the white ring on the rump of the waterbuck. Why do they have that target shape? Is it for the young to follow them? Well, partly that, I suppose. Funny enough, their cousin, the Thassa waterbuck, don't have the white ring on the rump. And yet they managed to follow their mothers without it. Another reason that I can think of is communication, because they don't have the different coloration in the tail, and it acts as a good background for the position of the tail when it comes to verbal or non-verbal communication between individuals, to see where the tail is moving. But then again, you see, the Thassa waterbuck don't have that. So it's just a color. It aids in communication. It aids in having the youngsters follow the mother, but it's not. I think the reason for it. It's the markings of the animal. Why does the leopard have spots? It's the way the animal was made by nature, with the white ring on its rump. You can come up with a bunch of reasons, or a couple of things that we could say it helps, but it's not be all and end all of it. Might drizzle later today. Ordinarily by now I would have the sun maybe burning through the cloud, but it's actually getting thicker and cooler and grayer. Oh, there's a bird. Not this tree, the one behind it. And I'm hoping it's going to stay there because look at that. Oh, it's gone. It's there in that leadwood now. Maybe I will get it from here. Oh, never mind. Kingfisher. Right, now we're going to go to a road I haven't driven for some time now, I think. Mumba Road. Let's go to Mumba Road. Roadblock. Wow, what a strong, getting a very, very strong sort of bovid smell coming from them now. It's not an unpleasant smell. It's almost like a barn where cows have been kept. Hello, Gail King. Welcome to Juma and welcome to our live drive. I'm really happy that you found us as well. And Gail is a new viewer. Quite bowled over by the fact that we can react, or rather communicate with you live. Look, they're the two woolly neck stalks rising into the air from Twin Dams. We're on Twin Dams Road. We're facing south. Those two woolly neck stalks have probably just been disturbed at the dam. The reason why we're losing power is I think this battery's getting tired of all the charging and discharging. And we've had to disconnect the alternator, which means that it doesn't charge up when the car is running because the frequency of the alternator interferes with the frequency of the broadcast. Hello, boys. But hello, Diane. My favorite ex-South African family in New Zealand. And Scott, who's hopefully a convert from Shanae and Diane, wanting to know what antelope's horn is made of. Well, here we have some horn. And maybe they'll bash heads and we'll hear how... No, they're not going to bash heads. Same as buffalo horn. Scott, made of the same substance as a rhino horn. I know you often hear people saying that rhino horn is matted hair. I suppose in a sense it is. It's the same substance as hair, keratin. It's obviously a lot denser as a horn, or as the horn covering on antelope. It's also quite dense, obviously, on the horn of a rhino. But if we had to take, say, for example, these buffalo horns, the tip of a buffalo horn, before it starts getting hollow where it is filled with bone, and you had to take the tip of a rhino horn, it would be very, very difficult for the man in the street to tell the difference. In fact, it would only be a microscopic difference. A genetic, the makeup is slightly different. So maybe a different density of keratin. It's the same as the hoof, in fact, of an animal. Same thing, like our fingernails. Modified hair and nails, that's what horn is. But you see, with our antelope and our buffalo, they're actually part of the skull, because inside that horn is bone and part of the skull, and it's just a horny outer covering. There's 800 kilograms of muscle behind those horns, and when that buffalo is running, it is why. In fact, I don't know why they call it a battering ram when it should be a battering bull, because this is going to batter you a lot harder than a ram if he had to hit a solid object like a car or a human. That is a formidable weapon they have. Yeah. Very thick muscles in the neck. He's a bit of a monster. Okay. Onward ho. And the inverter's going. Okay, I'm going to have to call it a day. We are about half an hour early, but the only way we're going to solve this is to go and put it on charge now. If I'm going to try and draw more power out of this battery, especially because now I have to hook up the car battery to the main batteries at the back, and the cranking amps that I'm going to draw out of that is going to make things worse. And it seems we're just digging ourselves into a deeper hole here with the battery issue. We kind of had it sorted, but the fireside chats and the other thing that is actually drawing a lot of power, and I think we're going to have to review this, is the fact that we're driving at the end of the day after having driving around for an hour with the spotlight, and that's wonderful because we're seeing nocturnal things, but we're going to have to try and come up with some sort of idea, because that spotlight does draw a lot of power. And strangely enough, our nights are a lot shorter because we're finishing at 7 and we're taking the vehicle out at 5. Should be enough time, and essentially it should be enough time to charge things up. So from Should I do that? What was it? It was not Hulk Hogan, Paul Hogan. And he hypnotized the buffalo just to lie down. I think I could do that. You're feeling very sleepy. You're going to lie down. He says, yeah, right, I'm just going to graze on some grass. So short of going anywhere right now, we can just watch the buffalo for a little bit more. Because I'm going to have to disconnect the camera and the inverters to start the vehicle. Too much of a drain if I was to hook it up together. What to do? Oh, there's a Wahlberg's. Top of the tree. Is the quarry in the way?
No, I should be able to get it.
One of our resident eagles that has come back for summer. They come back here and they breed, and it's known as a Wahlberg's eagle. Guinea fowl are shouting down towards Twin Dams. And I hope that everything will be sorted out by this afternoon. I'll maybe hook up a third battery charger today. I don't know. We'll see what I can do when I go back to camp. But we've got to solve this technical issue. But this is what happens when you live in the remote area of the African bushveld. And you've got a 3-hour drive to the nearest town. Gates and dirt roads and remote villages and goats and cows and rabid dogs. Only kidding. Those are just some of the obstacles. So from my friends the buffalo on my right, my other friend, this Wahlberg's eagle, up on the left, my other friend at the back named Tara, my other friend back in FC named Seb, my name is Mark. This has been Juma Live Drive, our morning safari. Have a wonderful Sunday. Some of you still got a Saturday night to get through. Hope you're going to get through it better than we got through ours. We'll see you at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Have a wonderful day, night. Bye, everybody. Come, let me measure your horns. Got quite a scar on his knee.
Got a kink in his tail too.
Got a kink in his tail, yeah. No? Said. Oh. I didn't have my radio on because I was trying to start the car and I'm waiting for you to tell me if you've cut away.